Welcome back to another episode of Imagine More Podcast, where we dive into the stories of incredible entrepreneurs who are shaking things up and making an impact. I'm your host, Rose Young, and today's guest is someone who embodies innovation, resilience, and straight-up business brilliance. Meet Sue, the founder of the Pines Times, a one-stop online calendar for all things happening in Moore County. This woman is a powerhouse. Sue grew up in Newton, Massachusetts, the third of 6 kids in a house buzzing with activity, laughs, and enough sibling rivalry to qualify as a competitive sport. With 4 brothers and 1 sister, plus a giant crew of nearby cousins, Sue's early life trained her in teamwork, negotiation, and how to grab the last piece of pizza like a pro. Professionally, she started out in the glamorous skies with TWA in reservation and agency sales before landing in public relations and marketing for industrial companies across New England. That marketing magic took her to regional and national roles, even leading global efforts for UK-based firms in tech-heavy industries like gas analytics and software. Yes, she was marketing software before it was cool. After a career built on connecting people to products, ideas, and solutions, she turned that energy toward a new idea. Inspired by friends from Chapel Hill and an epic tour of central North Carolina, she discovered Pinehurst and knew she found her place. She moved here 21 years ago, joined the Newcomers Club, and started hearing the same complaint over and over. Why do we always find out about events after they've already happened? That spark of frustration lit the fire for what would become the Pines Times. But wait, there's more. Sue also won the Shark Tank style competition at Sand Hills Community College Entrepreneurial Summit. That victory, plus her own passion and savvy, launched the Pines Times into what it is today, a site with over 100,000 unique users per year, drawing nearly 750,000 impressions monthly, helping locals and visitors alike stay plugged in to what's happening in the Sandhills. She's an entrepreneur through and through, with a million ideas, a can-do attitude, and the heart of someone who generally loves helping others. Sue, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Rose. It's a delight to be here.
Let's go way back. What was it like growing up with 5 siblings in Massachusetts? Did your childhood teach you anything that prepared you for entrepreneurship?
I think it did, actually, Rose. That's a great question. I was the only girl with 4 brothers for a very long time. And because of that, I was involved in all their sports. I did baseball as well as they did. I ran as fast as they did. I played football. I didn't do it the girls' way. Oh, yeah, we played at home. We had our own little team and everything. But anyway, so I believe, and I really think that because I was involved with boys, I got that competitive spirit. I was into sports. We were all into dance, so that we were really used to being out in front of people, doing things, socializing. And I really think that brought me to a point where that made me more entrepreneurial, and it helped me in business later on, I think, as far as having that opportunity.
You still like to dance, don't you?
I love to dance.
I've seen you out there on the dance floor before.
And you're right there with me.
That's right. TWA to marketing to the Pines Times. That's quite a journey. What led you from corporate marketing to launching your own business?
Well, ironically, throughout my business career, I always had my own business.
Oh.
part-time. I did everything from the makeup company.
Oh, Mary Kay?
Yeah, Mary Kay.
Yeah.
I went door to door when my
Did
kids were
you?
young. I just did the Mary Kay thing. When I was working for Thomas Publishing, and it was only a 6-month selling cycle, I said to myself, I have all these marketing managers that are my clients. What else can I sell them?
Really?
So I started my own ad agency, and I started offering them advertising, brochures, media kits, postcard mailings, which is back in the old days. So yeah, I learned as I went. I had no idea what I was doing.
That's amazing.
I just developed, I got the job before I knew how to do the job, and that is the God's honest truth. I said, I'll figure it out if I get the business, and I figured it out, and I moved on, and I had that 6 months out of the year. So, and I could do that part-time, obviously.
Right.
At the same time I was doing the other job. So, and it worked out really, really well.
Wow. Did it ever interfere with your main 6-month job?
No, not at all. It was because I was seeing the same people, and so I
Really?
had those relationships, and so I just continued them through the year.
Oh, that was so
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
You've lived and worked in some major cities. What made Pinehurst feel like home when you first visited?
That's easy.
Oh,
That's an easy one.
okay.
Well, I actually made phone calls. The way I found out about North Carolina is I knew I would had to come to North Carolina, and that's a story in itself. But I decided to ask all my friends when I was in the Boston area, do you know anybody that lives in North Carolina? And they all said yes. Every single person.
Really?
I never found a person that didn't know somebody that lived in North Carolina. They referred me to those people, gave me their phone numbers, and I called each and every one of them up.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, and when I did, and they went everywhere from the mountains to the Outer Banks and in between, everywhere, Wilmington, Southport, everywhere. And so when I talked to them, they all loved where they lived. They said they would never look back. They just loved it.
All over North Carolina.
So when I came down to do my little tour of central North Carolina, I knew that no matter where I picked, that I was going to be happy.
Ah.
I did. So did the tour, and just the circle that we did. Pinehurst was the next to the last stop. I had never heard of Pinehurst. I had no idea about Pinehurst. I was a golfer but didn't follow golf. And so when I came to Pinehurst, we saw the village, and that was easy because it reminded us of a New England village.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it is the epitome of something you might see in Vermont. To me, it's a Vermont village. Vermont is full of little villages like Pinehurst, and so isn't. And New Hampshire has areas as well that might have a small village, but basically, I think of it as a Vermont, and I love Vermont villages, and I love Vermont, and honestly, Pinehurst Resort, the hotel, the Carolina Hotel, reminds me of Mount Washington Hotel, which is where my dad used to take us. And so
Oh, that's
actually, if you took a picture of each building, they would be so much alike. And so and the other thing is that we wanted to be better at golf, but we just came off of having a 14-acre horse farm. So having golf and equestrian
That's right.
and our horses, that was it. We just said, this is it.
So it makes us famous, isn't it? Golf and
The
horses.
equestrian, yeah.
That's right. So how much has changed in Pinehurst since that first time you drove by? drove by.
Actually, it's changed a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, with all the amount of people. When I came here and I would go to the Sunrise Theater or go anywhere, I said if I wanted to see all white hairs, I'd be down in Florida Why am I here? So I didn't see many families and young children. So I was pleased to see the military come here with their
Yes.
children and just bring life into the community.
Nice.
It's just getting a little crowded now.
It's
so.
starting to get a little crowded, yes. But I do love the families being
I
here.
love it. I love it.
So, Sue, many of us have had $1 million idea in the shower, but you brought yours to life. What were those first steps like building the Pines Times?
It was a tough decision to make
Yeah.
because I was looking to do something different.
Uh-huh.
At the time, I was in real estate, and I wanted to do something different. And I knew that I would have to be sales because I'm good at sales, but I wanted to make sure that I wanted to be entrenched into the community. And all my other ideas would take me out of the community. I would have to drive to accounts all over North Carolina. I did have an opportunity to work for an ad agency out of Boston, who's a friend of mine, and he wanted me to be the North Carolina arm. And I chose not to do that, even though it would have been much more lucrative, because I would have been in the car driving all over North Carolina.
Right.
And at this time in my life, I wanted to stay in the community. I wanted to be
Me
part
too.
of the community. And so I had this idea for 10 years. Because of newcomers, because there was no place to find, not a single place to find by hour and by day what is going on in the area. And my son is the one, I said, I don't know if this is going to work. He said, just try it. And if
Yeah.
it doesn't work after 6 months or a year, so you go on and you do something else. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And so with that, I hired Scott Murphy. If you're out there, thank you very much. Scott Murphy. And he and I worked really hard. He worked really hard on this site. And we would be talking at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning together, as if it was 5 in the afternoon. And I was populating the site, and he was building it, and we would just had a great time. And he was a great guy because he saw my vision. He saw my vision, and he created it just exactly what I wanted it to be.
And
Yeah.
what a vision it is. I
Thank
love the
you.
Pines Times. I mean, there's
Thank
nothing
you.
like it.
Thank you. I agree. There is.
So a lot of us have those ideas, Sue, and think that, oh gosh, if I get into this, I'm going to have to be in it the rest of my life. What if it doesn't work out? I'm going to be miserable the rest of my life.
I used that exact term with my son.
Uh-huh.
I said, I don't know what I want to do for the rest of my life. And he said, what are you talking about? I mean, that generation doesn't even think that way. But that's why he came out and said, you try it for 6 months.
yeah.
And it doesn't work out. There's something, you move on. You're not doing something for the rest of your life.
That's great advice. That is great advice.
Yeah.
What was it like to win the Shark Tank competition at Sandhills Community College? Did you walk in confident or thinking, what have I gotten myself into?
Well, I knew it was a good idea, and I knew I needed it. And if I needed it and a whole bunch of other friends of mine needed it, then I thought it was going to go well. I never thought of it as it isn't going to work. However, I didn't know if I was going to be able to handle it because it was something new to me.
Yeah.
I'm not technologically savvy. Putting things in the back end and putting up all the events was a new experience. I had to go to working with a website is different. But once that got all settled and done, actually, I never said, what did I ever get into? But what I did find out at the Entrepreneurial Summit was there were about 250 people there during the summit. And after I gave my presentation and after I won, and I must say I was a nervous wreck doing the presentation, because as much public speaking as I did in corporate, I had not done it for 10 years because I was here.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was 10 years after I came here that I did this. So I really was not comfortable being up on stage doing a presentation in front of 15 of the biggest and most prestigious business people in town.
Oh, gosh,
but,
yeah.
But I did it. I did it well. And when I got through, people came running up to me. What a great idea. There was so much personal reinforcement after that, during that day, that I said, I did it. I really, I think I've done it, so, yeah. So
How far in were you when you did the Shark Tank? Had you already got the site going, or?
The site we literally started December 1st,
Uh-huh.
2013. And it took us about till January to get it all settled. And I was populating it constantly with the events.
Right.
That was my job when I first started, because I decided not to sell any advertising, because I wanted it to be out and popular and worth something when somebody handed me their money,
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so for 1 year, I did not sell advertising. But this was in April. So we went January, February, March, April, 4 months.
Okay.
And the site was known very little. It was just growing.
Mm-hmm.
But the Entrepreneurial Summit really gave it its little push.
It
and
had
little
that
knowledge.
boost.
So it gave it the boost that we needed to get going. So, yeah, and now we're up to 100,000 individual users
That's something
using the
else.
site. So it's not just a Moore County site. I mean, it's,
Oh.
we're outside of Moore County and promoting events outside of Moore County, and as well as the people that come into this area because of the resort and because of all the activities and things that we're doing here. People come from all over. And
That's right.
and ironically, Raleigh is my number one city,
that-
next to Pinehurst and Southern Pines. Yeah, because Raleigh people like to come down here and
Oh,
visit.
yeah. Who
And
doesn't? We're great down here.
Exactly. Get out of the city and come on down to the area.
That's right. And, if you want to know what's going on, the Pines Times.
That's it. And Google loves us. Thank you, Google. If you Google anything about the Pines Times and where you want to do or what you want to do and what fun you want to have, the Pines Times will come up.
Yeah. So how much has the site morphed since that first opening?
We've morphed a lot. The site that I had before, I won't tell you, it's almost embarrassing how little I paid for it. And it was one of those sites that I was told would not last, more than 2 years
Yeah.
because of its technology. And I made it last for like 6 years. But the new website that we have now is the biggest morph that we had, I mean, it was really going from old technology to really updated technology, and it's updated. That technology will always continue to grow in that site. It's automatic.
Oh, that's
so,
nice.
So we don't have to worry about it dying on us. And it really, I'm proud of the new site. I love it myself. And as a marketing person, it's not easy to love what you do all the time. I'm pretty critical about what looks good. But I love the site. I love the way it works. And I'm very proud of it.
Yeah. So, Sue, you're known for being full of brilliant business ideas. I know you help people all the time. You help me all the time. What's one you haven't launched yet that still floats around in your head?
Well, I won't talk about what they are, but they're there.
Yeah. Oh, more to come.
More to come, really. If and when I have the time, because right now it's very, very busy with the Pines Times, and thank goodness. But When and if, yeah, I have plans on a couple of other, little ideas that will keep me busy.
Yeah, okay, okay. Are you ever going to retire, Sue?
Oh, yeah.
Yes?
Yeah,
Okay.
Either that or I'll be dead. Who
Yeah,
knows?
that's right. I don't see you as the sitting on the couch eating bonbons type, Sue.
You will never see that.
So what keeps you motivated when you hit a business bump in the road?
Wow, that's a great one. I can give you an example.
Okay,
All
good.
right, if that'll help.
I love stories.
Okay, great. Well, just envision that you are an event calendar, and that's all you do is events. You don't do news. You don't do anything else. You just do events.
Right.
And then a pandemic comes.
Oh, yeah.
And there are no events
Oh, my gosh.
for years.
From millions to zero. Seconds flat.
And so when that happened, I sat at my dining room table, literally staring into the space, just space, outside my window. I just looked out there in disbelief, almost in shock
Yeah.
that this could happen, that I created an event calendar and now there are no events. I've worked all these years.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? And I kept saying to myself, I can remember saying to myself, what do they need? What do they need? I have a vehicle to get them what they need. What is it? And then it came to me. They still need events. They still need things. They need things that are going to bring them joy because they're stuck in their house. They're on their computer all day long. And so I have a girl that helps me out, Kelly Marquez, thank you, and said, why don't we just put up anything we can find on Facebook, anything we can find on YouTube, everything from movies to philharmonics, music. My nephew's wife is in Burlington, Vermont. She's head of the library there, and she was doing Zooming stories to children. I had every one of her storytelling things on there so that but that was at actually a time. But if something was there all the time, we just gave it a time and a day to put it in. We filled the calendar with activities and things to do. Discovery Place had all kinds of children's activities that were available to them, and I would just copy the link to their activities, and then that became an event. There all kinds of things like that. All the local musicians were putting on their little shows. And so we did all of that, and with that, we grew like crazy.
Wow. So instead of it killing you, it really brought you back to life.
It really, really did.
That's amazing.
And we did the same thing in our newsletter. The newsletter became really a pandemic, where to go for what, senior hours, where to go for food, where to go for this, that, or the other thing, and shots. And we just made it for what, that was my mantra. You asked what the mantra was.
That's right.
What do they need? What do they want? And then I gave it to them.
That's so interesting. And you've said that twice, that the first time you said that I thought to myself, what do I need here? And then you just said that about what do they need? Let me give it to them.
Right.
And that really helped you push the Pines Times, didn't it?
It really did. It showed me that it proved. I didn't realize how much we grew until I started looking at my Google Analytics. I was shocked. But we were doing so well. But we did most of that growth during the pandemic, which was
really
everybody was online, and I was doing the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the Pines Times isn't just a calendar. It started during the pandemic, as you said. It's a community connector. How do you choose what events make the cut, And what have you learned about the community through this work?
Well, we're an amazing community.
We are.
I have never, I can't even imagine. This is a gold mine as a community.
What do you mean?
Because we have so much around us that is happening. Just take it, the arts and the cultural, the quality of the events and the quantity of the events that are happening in this area is mind-blowing.
It really
you
is.
can go from BPAC to Weymouth to Campbell House to Temple Theater, Sunrise Theater, and then you have everything that's going on in Pinehurst at the resort and all the community events and you have all the festivals and and it's such a connecting. I feel very connected to the community, and
You are.
well, even before the Pines Times, I felt connected, and I think that's what drew me to staying here and continuing that as someone who worked at the Pilot selling Yellow Page advertising. That opened me. That was my first job, and I went and I
Yellow Pages. What?
Yellow Pages,
What?
yeah. What is that? and I love that job, and I got to see and meet all the business owners, and just really felt connected there. And then when I went to real estate, same thing. And now with the Pines Times, it's even much more entrenched because there is. Every aspect of the community is involved into my calendar.
That's right.
So you have all the nonprofits, and you have all the schools, and you have everyone included into the Pines Times. Yeah. So
I know that our community, we embrace entrepreneurs. We embrace the small businesses. And I love that about us. I hope we keep that. Do you see us keeping that, Sue?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think the businesses are growing. There's more and more of them. And of course, we've got a lot of entrepreneurs in this community. They're just so creative, and they're so good at what they do. And so I see this community just growing. I don't know if we have the space to grow in which we are growing, but it is a great opportunity for all of us, but it is a phenomenal community. And it's nice that we're several small communities,
Right.
but we act as one.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think of one community is not being part of it. We're so small and so connected that we are one community.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
I mean, we each have our individual identities, like Pinehurst and Southern
right.
Pines and Vass, but we're all Moore County,
That's right.
and we act like that.
That's
a
right.
good point.
It is. It's just a great community. Yeah.
What advice would you give someone listening who has a great idea but hasn't made the leap to start?
3 words. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
How do you get over the fear? I'm scared. What do I do?
Just
What's
do
my
it.
first step?
No, just do it. Just do it. Find it out. Figure it out. You can figure it out. Just do it. And then when there's a video out there, just do it, and it's I think it was a religious convention that one of these millionaires or billionaires got up and did a talk, and he just said, "Do it." And when you make a mistake, just do it again, and then you just keep doing it. Just do it. Don't wait to make it perfect. Just do it now and make it better, and then do it again, and just do it, and just do it, and just do it. And I had a sign over my desk, just do it.
Oh, yeah.
Because the tendency for many of us is to try to make things the best that they can be before they go up.
Right.
And that's a mistake.
Okay.
Because it'll hold up everything. You won't keep, it can hold up the business moving forward.
Right.
And so it's best to do the best you can to make it okay. But if it isn't perfect, don't get down on yourself. Just do it again, do it again, do it again, and just do it.
Keep
Just get it,
improving.
just do it.
Little steps.
Yeah. Even when you're frightened or overwhelmed or disheartened, whatever comes your way, just do it.
How do you get over that fear of failure, of making yourself look foolish in front of others?
I don't worry about that. I'm sorry.
That's good. No, that is a trait that we
I
all
think I
need.
did when I was younger, but as I got into business and I made a lot of mistakes, and actually Scott Murphy, I would make a mistake when I was in the beginning, or I didn't have an event on there, and I say no, I didn't have that event on to my. What he said, Sue, only you and I know it.
Yeah.
Just forget it. Just move on.
That's right. That's right.
So I've learned over the years, especially being in technology and software and things that, your website can be down. Thank God my new site doesn't go down. But I mean, the old one used to all the time. And I had to breathe. It'll be okay. It's going to be better soon. And just, there's nothing I can do about it. And so I just don't, I've learned over the years how to handle things that as they go wrong, just to know that next week, this time, things will look a lot better.
Things
and
will look a lot
different.
better. Yeah, that's good advice. That's good advice. So, time for a quick fire round. Are you ready?
Oh, gosh.
First thing that comes to your head, right? So, first job you ever had?
5 and dime.
5 and dime. No kidding. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Dream vacation destination?
I've been on many of them. I would say New Zealand is.
New Zealand. Oh, I'm so jealous. That's one of the places I'd love to go.
I've been, and Switzerland used to be my number one. I used to go there often because I loved it so much. But once I went to New Zealand, it just, it's different. Switzerland's still great. It's just that New Zealand has so many different views and different birds and different water. Everything's different there. It's an island that just erupted, so it's different than any place else, and I just love it.
And it's so far away.
That flight was awful.
Best compliment you've ever received?
Honest, in business or personal?
Your choice.
The best compliment I had is from my grandchildren.
Ah, and what was it?
That I made their life so special growing up. That I can't tell you. I mean, I was shocked. I heard it from 3 of my great-grandchildren. No, my grandchildren. I was getting confused, but it's my grandchildren. And I used to, when I had my 14-acre horse farm, I used to give the kids a summer camp every year.
Oh, really?
For 2 weeks.
Oh, they got to come to see, what do they call you?
Grandma Sue.
Grandma Sue. So they got to see Grandma Sue stay on the horse farm for 2 weeks.
That's right. We had an Olympic-sized indoor swimming pool.
Oh, my goodness.
So they had swimming every day.
Ooh, it's fun to go to Grandma Sue's.
And then we had the horses had to be taken care of in the morning, and I had to leave the children up there making the breakfast for everybody. And I had 5 grandchildren at the time that I was having. It grew.
Oh.
Because their friends heard about it.
Really?
Then my sister's kids heard about it. And then they all started showing up. And I said, and then I started saying, should I have a camp?
Yeah.
A real
there's
one?
that entrepreneurial brain going.
You have no idea how many things I had going on for that farm. Oh my God, between the swimming pool and, I had so many ideas. But yeah, my grandchildren really blew me away when they told me how much I meant to them.
That is
And they
a
did it in such a
lovely
beautiful
compliment.
way, yeah. So
That is
that was,
lovely.
I would say that was the best, yeah.
How many grandchildren do you have?
You don't want to know.
Yes, yes, I want to know.
Well, in total, of course, many of them are from a marriage, I'm a step grandma.
Okay.
But there are 11 total.
11 total
And 6 great-grandchildren.
6 great grandchildren.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's really, and they're all over the place. So I don't get to see them all that often, but they're all doing well, which
See,
is special.
when you retire, you can go spend a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there, a couple
There you
weeks,
go.
go all over the nation.
That's it. That's it.
So looking forward, what's next for the Pines Times? Any new features or plans you can tease us with today?
I do.
Are you
I
not
do.
gonna tell us?
I'm not going to tell it.
Oh, no.
It's already built on the back end, but I'm not going to tell
Oh,
it.
no. That is a tease.
Well, we have other people out there that might want to do the
Oh,
same thing.
that's right.
But no, I do have another back end that I'm working on now.
Okay, when will we find out?
I have no idea.
No,
It's been so
soon?
busy that I haven't been able to populate it.
Oh,
It's
I'm so
just a really-
curious.
I know, it's going to be great.
We're going to have you come back and tell us all about it when you want to, I guess.
That's right. I'd be happy to.
Okay, so Sue, you were one of the first jingles I wrote, but it was so long ago that it was just a little short thing. So I've added just a little bit
You're
to it
kidding.
today.
Oh, my
so
goodness.
here's your jingle. Okay.
Okay.
What's happening in the pines? I want to know. What's happening all around? Where can I go? It's your single source for events in the Pines. The Pines Times. The Pines Times. So I just added that little bitty bit.
Love that.
Good.
I want that recorded so I can have it.
I actually did find someone that at the networking event that we had, and they said, you know what, I play the piano. Why don't you just have me come and I'll play the background music and you can do the jingle.
I love it.
I said,
I
heck
think
yes.
you need to do
Heck
that.
yes.
And I want it recorded so I can use it. And absolutely, yes.
So, Sue, I am a brand new, right out of college. I don't know what I want to do for the rest of my life. Give me some direction. How do I find that direction? Do you have any advice for us?
What I have learned over the many, many years is whatever brings you joy. Because, they say if as long as you're having fun at work, it's never work. And it's so true.
Mm-hmm.
I would just find out what brings you joy. And if you don't know what that is or you haven't found it yet, the only way to find out is to go and work at different positions, at different jobs.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I did a lot of different things that life has a way of bringing you to where you need to be as long as you're out there searching. I got into marketing. Marketing was not something that I would have ever dreamt that I would have
so
been
good
at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I never went to college for it. I am not a college grad, but I was a worldwide, marketing manager for 2 worldwide companies. I found it intuitive. And when I started doing my advertising marketing, I figured out how to do it and how it worked and what people, it just evolved in me. And it's because I enjoyed doing it. And so, and my first position was selling press release services. And gosh, I loved that. I just loved going into industrial accounts and learning about their products and promoting all their products and promoting their company in different ways. And gee, I just was lucky to work with a company that I have eventually found out that that's what I enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes if you're not really sure what you're supposed to be doing, you might have to just try to work at different positions And
Yeah, that's a great idea.
yeah, and then it'll come to you when you know it's there. None of my children are working. I mean, none of them are
Really?
working at what they went to college for.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
None of them.
Mine either.
So, I mean, and they're all very good. They're all making a lot of money and doing extremely well, but in professions that had nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
But because they went to college, I do believe that they gained so much knowledge and so
Right.
much. I always felt that part of the education was living on your own and getting to know other people and getting to learn how to socialize with other people, your other students and things like that. That's a huge growth thing for life. And I think the kids found their way. They figured out what they really wanted to be doing, and they're all doing extremely well. So I learned through them, I think,
Yeah.
also, as
Yeah.
to how they gravitated through their life.
That's really good advice.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Sue, if we want to advertise with you, or we have events that we want you to post, or maybe we want to, do you do good descriptions about events? Like if I want you to really, tell all about it, or tell me about that.
Well, what we do on the Pines Times is that we put the title of the event, we put the time, we write a description about the event. We give all the pertinent information from websites, contact information, where to buy tickets, map and location. Everything is available as far as that goes, and we put it up at no cost.
Oh,
Okay.
there's no cost to put your events up.
No, and also, this is open to the community. My advertisers are called sponsors for a reason. They are sponsoring free promotion of all events in the community.
That's right.
Now, obviously, there are ways of paying for better or more, visible, like advertising and stuff like that. We have other ways of promoting it in bigger and better. But the free does really, really well.
Right.
And so anybody who has an event, be it, any kind of, any business, any school, any event planners, the nonprofits, churches, synagogues, you're doing a fundraiser to the community, we would be happy to promote that for you and at no cost. And so they can go on the website and it'll say submit your event, and you can submit your event there, or you can email me. My email address is on the website as well, but it's Sue@thepines, plural, times.com. And just let us know the information, and we'll be glad to put it up for you.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize all of that was free. So if I have a nonprofit and I want to get a lot of people there, all I have to do is go on your site and put it up.
It's funny you should say that. Yes, not only that, I am the official calendar for the IAC, which is the Interagency Council.
Oh,
That is about 50 nonprofits that get together every other month, and they sit around and they talk about what they're planning to do for events.
really?
And so I sit there every other month, and they know that I will promote them. And also, what they use the calendar for is as somebody gets a date and a time, they put it up no matter how far in advance, whether it's a year in advance, 6 months in advance, it doesn't matter. We put it up there so that they can all see who's doing what on what weekend. So they can look forward on my event calendar. They can look 3 months ahead, 4 months
Oh.
ahead, 6 months ahead, a year ahead, and they can see what events are already up there. And so that way they'll know who they're competing with, and they don't want to compete with each other. And that's why they have this, is that they don't want to step on each other's toes. And so that's how that works.
Now, is that a normal thing for communities, or is that something that we have?
I can't imagine anybody having that anywhere else.
That's
It is
incredible.
incredible. I always have said, I don't think I'd see this happening in Boston, because to me, it seems like everybody's going after the same dollars and that it would be more competitive. But they don't. They act and help each other. They say, who needs volunteers? One nonprofit is supporting another nonprofit, and they help each other. And it is a beautiful thing that they do here. It's absolutely phenomenal. I'm just proud to be part of the
Yeah.
organization.
Another great thing to love about our community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sue, thank you so much for sharing your story, your spark, and your savvy with us. You're a reminder that community, creativity, and courage really can change the game. And to our listeners, don't forget to check out thepinestimes.com and get plugged into everything happening in the Sandhills. And one last shout out to our sponsor, More Biz Spot, your go-to space for work, meetings, and events. Book smart, work smart. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep doing, and always imagine more.